Welcome to the community of
engineers, the change agents in the society.
In this video, we will discuss an important property of the material, the Poisson's ratio. It gives the information how the material deforms under axial loading. Once we stretch a cylindrical bar, whether it is in rectangular cross section or circular cross section, certainly its length increases along the longitudinal axis, but at the same time, there is going to be reduction in length along the lateral axis or the transverse axis. The direction in which the load is applied is known as the longitudinal axis or the axial axis, and the axis perpendicular to the load are known as the lateral axis. Similarly, once we compress the cylindrical bar, its dimension will reduce along the longitudinal axis, but at the same time, the dimensions will increase along the lateral axis. The Poisson's ratio will tell us how much contraction would occur along the lateral axis in response to the elongation along the longitudinal axis. Now let's consider a cube keeping in view the coordinate axis. Lx represents the length along the x-axis, Ly represents the length along the y-axis, and Lz is the length along the z-axis. Upon application of the tensile loading along the x-axis, there is elongation of delta x along the longitudinal axis, and this is represented as del x by 2. Since the elongation or deformation occurred on both of the sides, so the deformation is shown only on one side. That is why it is del x by 2. Similarly, there is going to be contraction along the lateral directions. So contraction along y-axis, that is del y by 2 on one side, and the contraction along z-axis is going to be del z by 2. Further, when the axial load is applied on the cube, the stress is produced along the x-axis, which is sigma x is equal to P upon A. However, the stresses along y-axis and stresses along z-axis are zero. There are no stresses along the z-axis and along y-axis, whereas the strains are developed along all the axes. Now, just to remember, strain is the measure of the change in length or the deformation, and we can write this strain as the change in length or the dimension, that is the deformation, upon original length. Now this strain is represented with Greek letter epsilon. So strain along x-axis is going to be del x upon Lx. Strain along y-axis is going to be minus del y upon Ly. Similarly, strain along z-axis is going to be minus del z upon Lz. Now here the positive sign indicates that the load, the elongation that is of tensile in nature, and by sign convention we use positive sign, and here we have the sign convention of minus because the contraction is the compressive in nature. Further, the strain produced along the lateral axis are proportional to the longitudinal axis, as epsilon y is proportional to the epsilon x and epsilon z is proportional to epsilon x. Now this is the property of the material, that is the material constant, and we define as the Poisson's ratio as the ratio between the lateral strain upon the axial strain. This negative sign, minus sign, in just because of the reason that we should have positive value of Poisson's ratio, because as per the sign convention the axial strain is of tensile in nature and the lateral strain is compressive in nature. So to get the positive value of Poisson's ratio we use the negative sign. Further, we write this as nu is equal to minus epsilon y upon epsilon x, the lateral strain upon the axial strain, and similarly nu is equal to minus epsilon z upon epsilon x. Further, the expression only applies to the homogeneous and isotropic materials, means no bias of direction, and further the Hooke's law would be applicable. Now using Hooke's law, which we write as sigma x is equal to epsilon x, E is the Young's modulus. Rewriting this expression as epsilon x is equal to sigma x upon E. Now again considering the Poisson's ratio, that is minus epsilon y upon epsilon x and also minus epsilon z upon epsilon x. Now rewriting this as epsilon y is equal to epsilon z equal to minus nu epsilon x. Now using the value of this epsilon x from this expression, we write this as epsilon y is equal to epsilon x z is equal to minus nu sigma x upon e. Now, by using this expression, we can calculate the lateral strains by using the value of Poisson's ratio. Let's solve one problem. We have a circular bar of length 500 millimeter and the diameter of 16 millimeter. It is made up of homogeneous isotropic material. When it is subjected to a tensile load of 12 kilonewton, there is a elongation along the x-axis that is of 300 micrometer, and there is a contraction in the cross-sectional area that is of 2.4 micrometer. So in this we have to find the Poisson's ratio and the Young's modulus. And to solve that, if we see that the expression for the Young's modulus that is of u minus epsilon y over epsilon x. Now in this case this is a radial direction. So to calculate the value of these strains, the first we calculate the value of this epsilon x, that is the change in length del x upon the original length, and we know that the change in length that is of 300 micrometer, and we have the original length that is of 500 millimeter. And solving this, we get the value of strain along x-axis that is of 600 microns. Now we have to calculate the value of this lateral strain. So again epsilon y is equal to the change in length along y original length. So we have the value that is, since there is a contraction, so it is of 2.4 micrometer upon the diameter that is of 16 millimeter. So solving this, we have the value of epsilon y that is 150 micron. Now we can calculate the Poisson's ratio, that is minus 150. Now this is minus upon 600 microns. So we get the value of Poisson's ratio that is of 0.25. Now again this is dimensionless property of the material. Now to calculate the Young's modulus, we have the expression that is of sigma x is equal to epsilon x e. Now we have to calculate this, so Young's modulus sigma x upon epsilon x we have just calculated the value of this epsilon, and its value is of 600 micron. So we have to calculate the value of this sigma x. So for sigma x, that is P upon A, and we know the value of this, that is 12 kilonewton. So for area we can use pi r square, so its value is going to be pi 8 into 10 raised power minus 3 meter square. So we calculated the area, that is of 201 into 10 raised power minus 6 meter square. Now using this value in this expression, we get this 12 into 10 raised power 3 Newton upon 201 10 raised power minus 6 meter square, that the sigma x value, that is 59.7 megapascal. So now we have the value of the sigma x and the epsilon x. So we can calculate the value of this Young's modulus, that is sigma x upon epsilon x. This is 59.7 megapascal upon 600 micron. So the Young's modulus, that is going to be 99.5 gigapascal.